This morning
with Katrina Smith.
Welcome and good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday. It is August 3rd. Meteorologist James DeFazio in the Weather Center tracking a nice day ahead, minus that haze that you see kind of behind you here.
It's another beautiful, dry, sunny, low humidity day.
Okay.
But we have to deal with some reduced air quality, especially as the day progresses. You can see on the tower cam, there is a haze in the distance. We're going to show pictures of this as the day progresses because we do expect this to decline as the day progresses. Beneath the haze in downtown Utica on a shorter exposure camera, it's a little bit less noticeable, but if you look in the horizon on the very far edge of the shot here, it is noticeable that there is a haze. Smoke is moved into the area. Unfortunately, it's only going to get thicker as the day progresses. By Sunday evening, we're going to be seeing very, very thick smoke. Dry weather continues on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, and that's going to stay the case through the weekend, through the end of the weekend, and through the beginning of next week. Several dry days to begin the week. 60 degrees with sunny skies up in Rome. We're steadily warming up after a chilly night. Comfortable levels of humidity, and that continues today. I wanted to mention our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. You can also download this. It's on the bottom corner of the screen on your television. You can scan this QR code. If any more air quality alerts are issued, which I anticipate them to be, you can get notified via our app. Coming up, we'll break down that smoke forecast. Katrina?
Thank you so much, James.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Sunday morning. We're tracking another beautiful day across Central New York, but unfortunately, we're also tracking reduced air quality. We're tracking wildfire smoke that's going to continue to get thicker as the day progresses on Sunday. Take a look at downtown Utica. You can see the haze in the distance. You can see the haze on the tower cam there. There's no clouds out there right now, but the sky isn't bright blue. This grayish tint is a sign of things to come. It's a sign of the smoke that is going to be working in later this afternoon. Things are warming up after a chilly start. We're already up to 60 degrees in downtown Utica. Highs today should get into the low 80s. Air quality alerts already in effect for Lewis, Northern Herkimer, and Hamilton counties, and those are in effect until midnight tonight. I believe later this afternoon and this evening that air quality alerts will be expanded and include more of Central New York. If you'd like to get alerts about that, you can download the app that is on the screen beneath me here, but the air quality alerts, I do expect with the smoke forecast and the smoke continuing to move southward, I do expect these alerts to be expanded. It's another dry, sunny day with low humidity. It's comfortable out there aside from the air quality. Wildfire smoke will get worse as the day progresses today. And yes, sunny, dry weather will continue next week. Several consecutive dry, sunny days. Humidity slowly makes its return. 60 degrees with sunny skies in Rome, calm winds, and comfortable levels of humidity. And those comfortable levels of humidity continue today. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar is completely dry and quiet, and it stays this way for the remainder of the weekend and into the start of next week. Taking a look at the wildfire smoke, it has overspread New York State, but it hasn't gotten thick yet. So we head into Sunday afternoon, that smoke begins to further move southward, and it really settles over Central New York. Fortunately, we're going to be dealing with this smoke throughout the day on Monday. It looks to get a little bit lighter during the day on Monday, but the smoke is still across all of New York State for the entirety of Monday. For the air quality alerts, we're not in the extremely unhealthy levels, but we're in the unhealthy for some category. Air quality index levels between 150 and 175, unhealthy for some individuals or long exposures. It's going to get warm this week, temperatures all the way up into the mid-80s. Humidity begins to work its way back in on Tuesday. Completely dry today, and we warm all the way up into the low 80s. Going to be quite hazy this evening, though. Tonight, not nearly as cool either. Lows only in the mid-50s tonight for the city of Utica, as opposed to upper 40s like last night. Taking a look at the 7-day forecast, yes, unfortunately I had to add hazy to Monday as well as the smoke lingers into Monday. We start the week dry and warm, and it stays that way for most of the week. The next chance for rainfall comes on Thursday, tracking the chance for showers during the middle portions of the day. They would be scattered and light, but we would definitely need it by then. And then drier weather settles back in to end the week and to start the weekend. Katrina, do you know the answer to this?
If more acreage is burning while... I'm going to go with B.
Yeah, it's actually the truth. Yep, it's that simple.
Okay, we're further away.
Yep, in 2023, our air quality index levels exceeded 400, which is almost unheard of and something I hope we never see again. And that's because those fires were only burning a couple hundred miles away from us. They were just north of the New York-Canadian border, not too far. These, fortunately, are well to the west, several hundred miles north of Montana. They're thousands of miles farther away.
Way over there. And I think
Yes.
you touched on this yesterday a little bit.
I did. So our air quality index levels, if when we do expect them to get bad, would be between 150 to 175, not 400.
If these fires were closer, though, we would be seeing really bad, right?
It could get, yes.
Essentially.
Up in Canada, they're seeing what we saw in 2023.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, James. It's hard to believe. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us for another half hour of News Channel 2 Weekend Today. I'm Katrina Smith. I'll get you right over to the Weather Center with meteorologist James DeFazio. Well, it looks like it cleared up a little behind you, but you still have some of that haze.
Yes, and I'm using the shorter camera, so it's kind of makes
it's
it
not
look a little
focusing in on
little
that so
brighter.
much.
Yeah, it's not as long of a shot. But yes, we're still tracking wildfire smoke to return today to central New York, but that doesn't change the fact that we still have another dry, warm, sunny, low humidity day. It's going to be beautiful aside from a slow reduction in air quality as the day progresses. We're starting out mostly sunny, and it stays mostly sunny. Smoke has returned to central New York. We're keeping a very close eye on this. It is going to get thicker as the day progresses. This smoke back off to the west and to our north and to our west begins to work into central New York during the mid-afternoon and in early evening hours, and then it settles over central New York for an extended period of time. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar completely quiet and dry, and it's going to stay that way. Dry weather for several more days. 60 degrees with sunny skies up in Rome. We're warming up very quickly after a chilly night. Comfortable levels of humidity continue. Low levels of humidity continue into the beginning of next week. We're tracking air quality very closely today, and I do expect more air quality alerts to be issued over the next 24 to 36 hours. We do have them on our Storm Tracker 2 weather app now. If you're interested in downloading that, we have that on the screen here, as well as at the bottom of the screen, at the bottom of your screen. And the Storm Tracker 2 app will alert you as soon as an air quality alert is issued. Coming up, we're going to track that smoke and how long it's going to be in central New York. Katrina?
Thank you, James. With summer and
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Sunday morning. It's going to be another beautiful day across central New York with plenty of sunshine, low levels of humidity, comfortable temperatures. Unfortunately, we are tracking some reduced air quality, and smoke looks to thicken as the day progresses. Take a look at downtown Utica right now. Just a light haze. We're not seeing any air quality issues currently in downtown Utica. Air quality alerts are in effect for the north. We'll show those in just a minute. Mostly sunny skies, temperatures rising quickly this morning. Just now, this has just been added within the last 5 minutes. Southern Herkimer County has been added. As I was theorizing, I have a feeling these will continue to expand. Southern Herkimer County now included in the air quality alerts. These go until midnight tonight. Hamilton, all of Herkimer County now, Lewis County, and I do expect as the smoke continues to work from north to south that these will get expanded. Another dry dry, sunny day today with low levels of humidity. Wildfire smoke gets worse as Sunday progresses, but it's nothing like we saw in 2023. Sunny, dry weather continues next week, and humidity slowly returns beginning on Tuesday. 60 degrees with sunny skies up in Rome, calm winds, comfortable levels of dew point, a 52-degree dew point, comfortable levels of humidity. It's going to stay comfortable with regards to humidity through the rest of the weekend and through the beginning of the week. Humidity begins to return on Tuesday. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, quiet and dry, and it's going to stay that way through the weekend and through the first few days of next week. Not much rainfall in the forecast. Next chance for rainfall doesn't come until Thursday. Taking a look at that smoke that is overspread New York State today, the reason for those air quality alerts right now, it is the thickest across the North Country, and it's going to work in from north to south. So the northern counties are going to experience the higher level of pollutants before the southern counties. However, by Sunday evening, by Monday morning, all of central New York seeing smoky conditions. And unfortunately, this smoke looks to settle over in New York State and much of the Northeast for the entirety of Monday. We're going to see unhealthy for some levels of air quality by the time that this smoke arrives later today. Right now, we're still in just moderate conditions, but that unhealthy for some is that level that triggers that air quality alert. Temperatures rise this week into the mid-80s. It does warm up despite the hazy conditions. It gets quite warm. The humidity begins to work in on Tuesday. Taking a look at the skycast from today, this isn't going to pick up on any of the reduced air quality, but this will give you an idea of how few clouds that there are going to be out there today. Basically, all of the gray in the sky is from smoke. Highs today into the low 80s. Tonight, not nearly as chilly of a night. Lows only in the mid-50s as opposed to upper 40s like we saw the night prior. Monday, slightly warmer up into the mid-80s with clear skies. However, the haze continues into Monday, unfortunately. Taking a look at the 7-day forecast, yes, I had to add haze to Monday as well. That smoke continues at least through the day on Monday. Hopefully by Tuesday we're seeing improvements. Partly sunny skies and warm Tuesday and Wednesday. Chance of a shower during the middle portion of the day on Thursday, and then drier weather settles in for the end of the week and the beginning of next weekend. And I love this trivia question, and it is a combination of these things, and it is a debate.
It's gotta be beer because, right?
Yes, and there is no concrete answer, but I learned in college that the newest theory is that beer is actually what led to the development of civilization, which is crazy because I grew up learning, farming, agriculture being the main driver of humans no longer being nomadic and settling down. However, they've continued to find vats of fermented grains, right every place that they find their first farming. So,
after a hard day's work, right?
Yeah, yes. If you're interested, you can Google beer before bread or the beer civilization theory.
No kidding. Yeah. I love that. Thank you so much, James. Well, the second annual...
At your forecast tonight at 6 with meteorologist James DeFazio. My goodness, and you could just see it right on the satellite.
It is.
Pushing in, and we are just about to get into the thick of it.
Smoke is billowing in. We're going to be seeing reduced air quality over the next few hours. Air quality alert remains in effect. It has now been extended through Monday. We're going to continue to see reduced levels of air quality through Monday, but fortunately, it's not going to get too hazardous. This is about as bad as it's going to get. It's going to get slightly worse over the next couple of hours, and then it's going to stay at about that level. Beneath that smog, we can see mostly sunny skies across downtown Utica. It's very warm. We had very pleasant weather beneath this air quality. Aside from the smoky skies, it was a pleasant day across central New York. Unfortunately, the smoke continues to settle across New York State through the day on Monday, and that is why that air quality alert has been extended now until midnight Monday night. Dry weather continues on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, and we continue to track a long stretch of dry weather. 79 degrees and sunny skies up in Rome. Highs were in the low 80s today. Dew point a little bit higher than what we've seen over the last couple days, but still not overly humid conditions. Tonight, temperatures are going to be into the mid to upper 70s with hazy skies and hazy conditions. Coming up, we're going to break down the wildfire smoke forecast. Ben?
All right, James, thank you very much. We have a couple of traffic alerts to pass.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Sunday evening. Another dry, sunny, warm day with low humidity, but as you can see on our Cavity Tower Cam, we're dealing with reduced areas of air quality responsible from or due to wildfire smoke that has worked into the area. And we're going to be tracking this wildfire smoke for the next couple of days. A little bit of a haze across downtown Utica, not quite as hazy as you can see off the Tower Cam. Temperatures have dropped from the low 80s now down into the upper 70s. Still very warm and beautiful out this evening. Air quality alerts remain in effect for all of central New York. They now have been extended not to expire at midnight tonight. They now expire at midnight Monday night. So these are now in effect for the entirety of the day on Monday as smoke looks to settle in place across central New York. This dry, sunny stretch of weather continues. Wildfire smoke affects our air quality until at least Tuesday morning. Fortunately, it doesn't look to get much worse than where we're currently at. Humidity begins to return on Tuesday. It doesn't get overly tropical, but it does get slightly muggy. 79 degrees with sunny skies up in Rome, a 7-mile-per-hour breeze out of the west. The dew point still in the 50s, not too humid, a tad muggy, but not overly humid. Nothing like we saw earlier this week when it was at tropical levels. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, completely dry and quiet. Dry weather continues. We're in a very dry weather pattern. Smoke has overspread central New York, and it's going to continue to settle across New York State for all of the day on Monday through Monday night into Tuesday morning. I believe things will begin to improve during the day on Tuesday, but until then, we're going to be in this orange category where air quality is unhealthy for some. People that are, anyone that is sensitive to pollutants could be irritated by the air quality. Most of us would be just fine with the current levels, with the current AQI levels between 125 and 175. However, people that are sensitive will notice an irritation over the next 48 hours. Temperatures this week warm up into the mid-80s, highs right around 84 degrees. We drag back down into the lower 80s as we head towards next weekend. But we're not saying goodbye to summer. The long-range outlook that just came off the press today from the Climate Prediction Center gives us an 80% probability of above-average temperatures in 8 to 14 days. Lows tonight, not nearly as cool, low to mid-50s, steadily warm up tomorrow right into the mid-80s. A look at the 7-day forecast. Unfortunately, hazy skies continue into the day on Tuesday. Hopefully by the second half of Tuesday, they subside. Partly sunny skies Wednesday, chance of a scattered shower Thursday, but more likely than not, dry weather continues into and through the weekend.
Works with Ben Kinney.
Good evening, area residents were treated to quite a beautiful sunset earlier this evening, and in just a little bit, the moon as well. It's all caused by the wildfire smoke over the area, and it's your top story tonight. Air quality alerts remain in effect because of the smoke, which caused hazy skies, lowered visibilities as well. Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist James DeFazio is in the Weather Center tracking the smoke, how long it's going to stay around for, and behind you can see the moon setting over, setting from Smith Hill. It's this orangish color.
Really cool.
It's like a rust color. It's so bizarre.
Smoke just happens to mix with the wavelengths and it changes the colors. It doesn't give us that bright white reflection. We get a nice little orange moon. It's very nice. Once it started white while it was near the horizon, but as it rose, it is slowly turned more and more orange. That's pretty cool to see tonight. Downtown Utica, Hazy skies, but clear. They're clear aside from the smoke that is out there. We continue to track this wildfire smoke. Wildfire smoke is going to remain in place through the day on Monday. Air quality alerts remain in effect through Monday until midnight tomorrow night. Dry weather on your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, and it's going to be a very dry week. We're tracking a lot of dry weather over the next 7 days. It's down to 63 degrees with clear skies in Rome. Low dew points at 60 degrees, not overly humid. It's labeled as humid just because of the disparity between the dew point and the temperature, but overall the dew point at 60 degrees, not humid. We're not going to see humid conditions until Tuesday. Tomorrow, hazy, gets up into the mid-80s, right around 84 for highs. We're going to break down just how long we expect that smoke to last in central New York coming right up. Ben?
All right, James, thank you very much. Summertime tradition was renewed.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Sunday evening. We continue to track dry, beautiful, sunny weather, but we're also tracking wildfire smoke and reduced levels of air quality. Take a look at downtown Utica, where you can't quite see the moon in this picture. You could just quite see it off on the tower cam. If you haven't gotten outside and you're still awake to see it, I highly recommend getting out and taking a peek at it. It is bright orange and quite the sight right now. Temperatures are in the low 60s. It's going to be a much warmer night than the previous two. Lows tonight in the mid to upper 50s in the city of Utica. Air quality alerts remain in effect for all of central New York through midnight tomorrow night for the entirety of the day on Wednesday, and it's very possible that these get extended into the day on Tuesday. Again, those air quality alerts remain in effect. Wildfire smoke affects our air quality into the day on Tuesday. And then hopefully by Wednesday we see some improvements. But we're also tracking a very dry week ahead. There's very few opportunities for rainfall chances this week. 63 degrees with clear skies up at Griffiths and Rome, a 60-degree dew point. It's really not too humid at all out there, and it's not going to turn humid until we get into Tuesday. We really start to see more humid dew points towards the mid-60s by Tuesday afternoon. Dry weather on your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, and that is going to continue for several more days. Very few chances for rain this week. We're going to need rain by the end of this forecast period. Smoke continues to overspread all of New York State, and it will for all of Monday. Unfortunately, as we continue to model this out further, when we wake up Tuesday morning, we are still seeing smoky conditions. Smoky conditions continue through the day on Tuesday and into Tuesday evening. Hopefully, by Wednesday morning, we begin to see some relief, but not until through at least Tuesday. We're in the unhealthy for some level of air quality. If you're sensitive to pollutants, limit your time and exposure to the outdoors until air quality improves. We warm up into the mid-80s tomorrow and Tuesday, then we settle back down into the low 80s for the remainder of the week, but summer is going nowhere. The 8 to 14-day temperature outlook showing a high probability for above average temperatures from the week of August 11th to August 18th, a 70 to 80% probability of above average temperatures. Lows tonight in the mid to upper 50s, approximately 58 degrees, clear skies, clear hazy skies across the city of Utica. Look at the 7-day forecast. Hazy skies continue at least through Tuesday. Partly sunny on Wednesday, highs in the low 80s. Our only chance for a shower comes early Thursday and possibly an isolated shower Thursday afternoon. Otherwise, dry weather builds back in for the end of the week and for the weekend.